Imagine the year is 1917, and you have a job that literally makes you glow in the dark. For hundreds of young women in New Jersey and Illinois, that wasn't a metaphor, it was their reality. They were the shining girls. They worked in factories painting the dials of watches with a miraculous new substance called radium. It was the wonder drug of the age. People drank radium-infused water for health. They wore it in cosmetics. These women were paid top dollar to paint tiny numbers with a glowing paint called undark. To get the lines perfect, they were taught a simple trick: lip, dip, paint.
Yikes.
They'd put the brush in their mouths to sharpen the point, dip it in the paint, and stroke it onto the glass. They were told it was safe. They even started painting their teeth and nails before dates so they'd glow in the moonlight. The women were often called ghost girls because the radium dust from the factories were so pervasive that it settled in their hair, their skin, and their clothing. They even started painting their teeth. Oh, I said that already. They painted their teeth and their nails. So while the male supervisors told the women the paint was safe, even suggesting it would make your cheeks rosy, the management and the scientists at the same facilities, they took extreme precautions. They handled the radium with lead screens, lead aprons, and metal tongs. They knew the material was lethal, but deliberately left the female workers uninformed to maintain productivity. But radium is terrifying. The human body actually mistakes it for calcium, so when these women lipped those brushes, the radium traveled straight to their bones. It didn't just sit there. It began to overtake their skeletons with radiation from the inside out. By the early 1920s, the glow began to fade into a nightmare. Their teeth fell out. Their jawbones literally crumbled at a touch. A horrific condition doctors called radium jaw. One woman went to the dentist to have a tooth pulled, and her entire jawbone came out with it.
Oh.
They were suffering from honeycombed bones, filled with tiny holes as the radiation ate them alive. But when they tried to speak up, the companies didn't just ignore them. They smeared them. They bribed doctors to say that these girls were dying of syphilis, to shame them into silence. The women, however, refused to keep quiet, because when a woman's body becomes a byproduct of industry, her voice is her only weapon. Led by a woman named Grace Fryer, a group of Radium Girls sued. These women all knew they were dying. They just wanted to make sure no one else did. Well, they won. Their case was one of the first times a company was held legally responsible for the health of its employees. Because of their determination, we got OSHA and the modern safety laws that protect you at your job today. Remember that these regulations aren't just red tape. They're blood-bought rights earned by women who refuse to die in silence. They didn't just light up the room. They lit the fire that burned down the era of disposable workers. Today, we see their shadows in every woman still battling reproductive safety, still fighting for the simple right to be believed by the medical community. We see it in every whistleblower facing a smear campaign, and in every worker demanding that their life be worth more than a profit margin. So for guidance on what legally qualifies as a hostile work environment, and to learn how you can file complaints, you can go to eeoc.gov, and you can also visit OSHA.gov for safety complaints as well. But when a woman speaks, she survives. But when we speak together, we ensure that everyone else does too.